You overshare for two very important reasons. One is so that you can finally be heard. So you throw out everything, word vomit everything, because you just want so desperately to be seen and heard. And why does this matter? It's because when you were growing up, chances are you were stifled. Chances are your parents, your caregivers couldn't listen to you. Now as an adult, you're like, please, someone hear me. So if I give you enough content, and if enough energy comes with all this content about me, you gotta hear me, right?
Every once in a while, we all need to take a moment, take a breath, and just breathe. And hopefully that's what this hour, every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. does for you. Welcome to the Best of Me podcast with myself, Samora Mangesi. This is that small little community on the interweb where we take a look at self-love and self-respect through reevaluating our relationship with vices like alcohol, drugs, sex, interpersonal relationships, gambling, and a whole host of other things. Now this week, I am joined by Zanele.
Hi, Samora.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. You look gorgeous.
Thank you very much. You look very handsome yourself.
The only reason I gave you that compliment was I expected you to feed me one back.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I met Zanele recently, met her last week, this week.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Yes. So as we're shooting this would have been a couple of days ago at the Joburg Theatre for a speaking engagement that I was at. And afterwards, you were standing outside the door waiting to have a conversation with me. And I thought that it would be really nice if we actually took that conversation and we brought it onto here. Now, before we get into what we're going to be chatting about today, Zanele, I wouldn't be a hospitable host if I didn't ask you what it is that you'd like to drink today. You know, when you go to a bar, when you go to a braai, when you go to a dinner, the barman or the waiter or the host would ask you, what's your poison? Asking you what it is that you'd like to drink. So, Zanele, what's your poison?
May I have a glass of water?
Water! Okay. Let's see if we've got water.
H2O, please.
Oh. There we go.
Thank you so much. What are you having?
I'm going to have some blue Powerade.
Okay.
The blue Powerade reminds me a lot of the time when I used to drink.
Okay. Yeah.
This was my
Babala's rescue.
Babala's rescue, my hangover favorite. Oh. Anyway.
I get it.
So, Zanele, you know, as much as when someone asks you what your poison is, we immediately assume that they're asking us what it is that we like to drink, and it's been socialized that way. However, poison in its inherent form is something that you ingest and it eats you up from the inside.
Yes.
And that can happen with a whole host of things. Whether it's things that worry us, things that keep us up at night, things that weigh heavily on our hearts, on our minds, and on our spirits.
True.
So with that said, I'm going to ask you that question again. So, Zanele.
Yes.
What's your poison?
Sure. I've got a number of poisons, but I'll just break it down to 3.
Yeah.
It would be people pleasing, oversharing, and lack of boundaries.
Ooh.
A bomb, right?
Ooh. No, not necessarily, because these are all things that are quite relevant, and they're expressed quite frequently in my interactions with people. And when it comes to the people pleasing and the oversharing, you know, and the lack of boundaries, they kind of all go together.
Yes.
When you look at yourself, when you look at your life, where would you say that stems from?
Sure. My childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my childhood. I think it's seeking validation from parents. I think sometimes parents, they know and study their kids so well, and then they know that she is more emotionally stronger than the other. And I think that is what happened in my case. And I was just expected to be strong for everyone. up until I just felt like I cannot carry anybody anymore. And I actually moved away. That's what I did.
So at home, they looked at you and they said, Yabana, this one. This one is the Mbogoto. This one is the strong rock.
I feel like that. I feel like that. They've never said it, but I feel like that through their actions.
How many siblings do you have?
One. Yes.
And how's the relationship with your sibling? Brother, sister, younger, older?
Sister, older.
Mm-hmm.
No relationship.
Oh?
Yeah, no relationship.
Why? Did you guys grow up in the same house? You half siblings, full siblings? I mean, in the African context, I know we don't have half siblings, but
I get you.
Break it down for me so that we can kind of understand why you wouldn't have a relationship with your sibling.
So she's an older sister. I just don't agree with the way that she lives her life. I'm not there to judge, and I'm not there to also impose what I feel like is her, what's the word? Ooh, the word is gone. Her potential. Mm-hmm. There we go. So who she could actually become. So that's why we don't have a relationship. I get drained, and that's why I just decided to move away. And that does not mean that the door is completely closed, though.
Yeah.
The door is still open. However, for me right now, this is the best decision.
And when you speak of your parents' actions that have shown you that, they believe that you are the stronger sibling that can take on more, that can handle more, that they can ask more from and of. What are some of those? How does that express itself?
So it would express itself in the form of, it's okay, for example, if a sibling or a cousin or a relative does not apologize. However, I'm expected. So an elder will literally come to me and say that, but you can be the bigger person. Just let it slide, and eventually that creates a lack of boundaries, which then creates a sense of wanting to numb everything that you are going through, because people are just constantly throwing what they think you can handle, or you are constantly appeasing a version of yourself, however it is in their head.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That expectation of being the bigger person, that expectation of letting things slide, that expectation of things don't really affect you as much, really does weigh heavily on someone's shoulders. I had an experience over the last couple of years, where I had to let go of some friendships because of that. And it was a situation where I was consistently being wronged. And when I would express how I feel, I was constantly gaslighted.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, it's the other people who are saying, no, but you need to fix things with so-and-so. And then I would say, but why is it consistently my responsibility to fix things with this person? Why is it consistently my responsibility to run after them? Why is it that I'm constantly put at the position or in the position of I'm the one that needs this relationship? I'm the one that needs this friendship. And essentially, you then become a doormat.
Yes.
Where people can walk all over you.
Yes.
And then also, when you start to put those boundaries in place, you become villain number one. Nguwe uJonas.
Yebo.
Nguwe uEsi. Nguwe uMatipa. Actually, you are the whole cast of the polygamist.
True. That is very true.
Tell me
and
about...
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I take on that character. Like now, I'm at a point where I don't care. Like if you feel like me instilling my boundaries means that you should leave, then I love you that much for you to leave, and I can love you from a distance. That's where I'm at.
Okay. How has this kind of, exhibited itself in other parts of your life?
Work.
Oh. Okay.
Work.
First of all, before we get into the work aspect, what did Zanele study? Where does she work, or where did she work? Tell me about that. Give us context with regards to that.
Okay, so I grew up in the West Rand,
Yes.
Kagiso.
Mm-hmm.
Primary school went to St. Ursula's. High school went to Krugersdorp High. I was in boarding school from grade 8 to 10.
Sure.
Then 11 and 12, I was home. Then I studied business admin at Rosebank College in Brum. And then from school, actually, I started an events company.
Mm.
I never saw myself as an employee.
Yeah.
So that's why I started the events company. But then obviously nobody prepares you for the outside world, right? As straight out of varsity or college, I was not ready to deal with people's personalities. But at that point, I did not understand the fact that people's personalities only trigger me because of certain parts that I am scared to face within myself.
Mm.
So long story short, I then went into the job environment, started off in promotions, again, also from varsity.
Yeah.
Just to get that experience. I did promotions for a while. COVID happened and then I had to get a job. That's how I ended up in corporate.
Mm. And then now when we speak of people pleasing, when we speak of a lack of boundaries in the corporate space, how did that manifest itself for you in your job environment, and how did it affect you?
I was triggered by clients. So I was on the client care. I was in the client care department. Little things, because now remember, this is call after call, day after day. So it builds up.
Yeah.
And you eventually need to ask yourself, why do I react in a certain way? For example, for me, it would be if an African person realizes that they're speaking to another African person, and then it's, yeah, Zanele. Oh, like I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend, and don't say my name like that.
Yeah.
It triggers me, but they are, what's the word? They don't know me.
Yes.
Do you understand? So that showed up, and then most importantly, my personal life got into my work life.
How?
Phew.
No.
No.
Okay.
No. I reported late. Uguti, I am not well.
Okay.
So then there was a whole drama and everybody was looking for me. And eventually that led to workplace calling home, which was something that I was not happy about. But I had not instilled that boundary because I overshared a lot about my personal life. So I can't exactly blame them as well. But yeah, that for me was the tipping point.
So tell me about the day.
Wow.
That day.
Why, Samora?
Tell me about it.
Which version? Oh my gosh, I'm such a bad liar.
Don't tell me the bullshit version. Tell me the truth. Tell me the real version. What happened?
I was tired.
Okay.
My alarm rang. I saw it. I did not want to do it anymore. And I switched off my phone. And it was like I was on ashwagandha. Like, I continued with life. And then I was like, hold up, I've got responsibilities. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go express how I feel. Obviously, I then went to, can I say this?
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Okay, but yeah, then obviously I went to the doctor and I explained my situation, but then obviously I was back at work with that.
Okay, so you went to the doctor.
Yes.
You said, doctor, I am tired.
Yeah, like emotionally, I'm tired. I can't anymore. I feel overwhelmed. I don't want to do what I am doing currently, but I don't have a choice, so I have to keep moving. But today, honestly, I'm emotionally drained. That's what I said.
So then the doctor said what?
No, the doctor understood.
Yes.
The doctor asked me follow-up questions. obviously relating to my mental health. And that's where we then discovered that there could be depression, or there is depression, rather. Yeah. And then I was put on antidepressants.
So were you booked off sick after that?
Just for 2 days. So it was that day and then the next day. And then the third day I started working again. It wasn't for long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they call home because they can't get a hold of you. How do you then find out that they called your family?
I eventually switched my phone on. And when I switched my phone on, my friends are blowing up my phone. You know, I love my friends dearly. My friends are blowing up my phone. Also, colleagues that I am closer to at work. Hey, Zan, this is what's going on. Are you okay? Where are you? Do you need help? And then I express to everybody that, no, I'm actually okay-ish. I just need time out. My mom didn't want to speak to me. Yeah, and my sister was just being my sister. And I spoke to my friends. They were a bit annoyed. Obviously, I did understand where they were coming from. But honestly, at that point, I just had it.
And people don't understand burnout.
No.
Because they think burnout needs to look a certain way and it has a certain aesthetic. But that for me sounds a lot like you were just burnt out. And the difference is, you know, when you are burnt out in an environment that you may not necessarily be fully invested in. For instance, I get to live my dream and my passion every single day. And even in my burnout, I would say, you know, there are certain things I may not show up for, but there are certain things that I know 100% that even if I am at my lowest, that I will certainly show up for. And for instance, it's like this podcast, because in that space, I am able to discuss those feelings and what I'm going through. It feels like my weekly therapy, right? So I know that this is one thing that even on my worst day, I can come as I am and I can pour into myself and everybody else who's watching and my guest. How was the reception when you went back to work?
I took it in. Like, one thing about me is I'm big on accountability. So if I'm wrong, I'm not going to wait for you to tell me if I have identified it before you. I did apologize. My manager was mad. She was mad, but I understood again. We had a meeting. You know, obviously as a person that studied business, I do understand absconding. Although in this case, technically it wasn't, but obviously it did seem like it.
Yeah.
Shame, man. But then they called me in, my manager and my assistant manager. They asked me what the problem was. And I think for me, that's where I started asking myself very honest questions, because it wasn't just a job anymore. You know, it was deeper than that, because you can simply answer a call and help a client. But then why are you getting triggered when they speak in a certain tone? If my best friend spoke to me in that tone, would I understand? Chances are yes, I would, because I know her that well, you know. So yeah, that's what happened, Shame. They had a meeting for me. They expressed from a business point of view that obviously what I had done cannot be done ever again. They asked me what's wrong. I've already said that. Yeah, they asked me what's wrong. And then that's when the truth then started surfacing. Sorry, yeah, getting emotional.
What was the truth that surfaced?
Yo, man. I think I just learned the art of sweeping things under the carpet and adapting to a room too well that I lost myself. And I think now it's just at a point where I'm completely lost in the different versions that people have of me in their head. And I was too invested in upholding those images or those versions of myself to those people. At first I thought it's because I cared, but Mm-mm. It just showed that I needed myself more. Does that make sense?
Was it perhaps perception management? Because that's another thing where we worry so much about how we come across to other people. And therefore, then we overextend ourselves. You know, we consistently show up because we're scared to disappoint other people, etc., etc. I want to find out about your mom. You say your mom didn't want to speak to you.
Yeah, no, it was a whole thing.
Did she not want to speak to you because she was so worried about you that when you resurfaced that she, you know, or was it a matter of why are you embarrassing us? Or like, take me through that.
Yeah. I think it could be multiple factors. Obviously, I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
But my mom does have that whole image management thing. My family does. It looks good on the outside, but on the inside, it's really empty, you know? So I think it could have been that I am embarrassing her. And I think I also triggered her, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit of a rebellious child as well.
Wild child.
No. But yeah, so I think I also triggered her, honestly speaking. And I think she didn't want to talk to me because she just knew that I'm safe and she was just too mad. Yeah, I'll give her those reasons.
Okay. But in that, it doesn't sound like, even from the work perspective and on the home front, that your well-being was put at the fore. Because at work, the first thing is you have absconded and this is why it's wrong in the business sense, and only then was it later considered to ask you what is going on. And seemingly at home as well, you know, that it was more the anger that preceded that element of what is going on.
Yes, that is exactly it. Well, that's how I felt.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you manage that? Because surely in that time, you're expected to take accountability. You are not necessarily given a soft landing on all fronts. Maybe, I mean, your friends, of course, are annoyed, but I would imagine that they're maybe were a little bit softer.
Yes.
But in these spaces that are extremely important, which is your career and your family, it doesn't seem like there was anyone to really catch you in a nice and soft way that will be able to give you an opportunity to express what it is that you're going through before having to actually account.
That's where the relationship hopping comes in. Yeah. So at that point, I was in a relationship. That person felt like that space in that moment.
Yes.
I think that's the person that I had. But in terms of family and work, it was all about technically, this is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and we're mad at you for this. And I just took it because I'm used to it. You know, when you're used to sitting in poo, eventually it doesn't smell like poo anymore.
Don't know why you were sitting in poo for you to know this analogy, for you to understand it. Wait.
No, I wasn't literally sitting in
I
poo.
get you.
Yeah. But it's just that I just got so used to being can I call it a scapegoat? Yeah. Like constantly having to be the one to look at myself, constantly being the one to blame because I do things differently. Constantly being the one, I don't know, like I was just everybody's, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. And at first I used to retaliate.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a fighter. The Zulu in me would be there. I would, Mama, no, my sister, no, what? And then I got tired, 17 years later. And now you get to a point where your parents are looking after you. They're giving you shelter, financial stability. You can't really go anywhere. And then I went to varsity, and I never looked back.
Make it sound like Washi Kaya. And you just boarded a plane and you were like, you know what? You know, when you watch a movie and there's that scene that culminates where someone just like breaks free and they now get onto an airplane and they're looking out the window and they look over the city and they're leaving everything behind it. That's how you make it sound. And you're like,
goodbye.
That's how you make it sound.
But that's how it felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
Okay. So when did you decide that it was time to prioritize yourself, that it was time to take care of self? What was that point, and probably what was your lowest point in all of this?
Hugh, can we pour a glass of water first?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm probably the first one to do it this way, nah?
No. We're actually, it's pretty standard.
Thank you. My lowest point was the wrong partner.
Okay.
I was dating somebody that I had no business dating. That relationship mirrored a lot of what I would call disconnect from myself. It didn't end well. Yeah, that was my lowest point, and I had to go to therapy. We had an altercation with the partner at the time, and I had to leave their place in the AMs. And it got physical, you know. Obviously, I had to go to hospital, and then that's when at the ER, is it the ER? Yes, at the ER, they then suggested, my dear, you're not okay. Like, you need to speak to someone and continue speaking to someone, because it doesn't look good. You don't look okay. You are not okay. That was my lowest.
So I know in some of my previous relationships, in terms of chronologically, what happened. And I'm able to articulate that to say, this happened, this person did this, I then did this, they then did this, I retaliated like this, and it culminated and in this way. I want to understand that about this very terrible relationship.
No, it wasn't all terrible. Shame. Yeah. You know, it all starts off great. There was alcohol. There was alcohol. There was, again, I didn't instill boundaries. So when I want to leave and I'm insisting that I want to leave, it became a problem. The partner felt like I am abandoning them. And then it became an altercation. I did what I could to protect myself, you know. That's what happened. I don't want to delve too deep into it, but that literally is what happened.
Yeah.
Hands were thrown. It was so dramatic. You know that scene where you must bump the gates to drive out because they don't want to let you out. They don't want to open the gate for you. Literally. That's how bad it was.
No, I can understand.
How did we get here?
I can understand that, you know? I can totally understand that. And the funny thing is, as you're speaking about this and you're talking about having to like bump the gate to get out because they're not letting you out, I'm like, why do I feel like I've had this experience before?
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, most of these experiences like this happen in situations where there would be alcohol or some other kind of substances involved, you know? Was it a big part of the relationship?
The alcohol?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Okay. How so?
Ew. It was always there. It was
Mm.
always there. It was always there. And I was responsible for it, honestly, because I'm the one that had the money to buy the alcohol. So whenever baby is like, babes, are we drinking today? Like, yeah, why not? Let's
Mm.
drink. Why not?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it sounds like both of you had things that you had to deal with.
Oh, definitely. Oh, most definitely.
Because, oh baby, it sounds like yena ebene issues ne abandonment,
Yes.
as you put it.
Mm.
Now we une issues zok people pleaser.
Mm.
Of course, ke ngoku, that then means that consistently you're having to reassure this person.
100%.
And oftentimes in that reassurance, you have to forego yourself to appease them. And that can wear you very thin.
Mhm.
The alcohol, does it, when did that kind of become a part of your life and your life? And I don't want to call it a coping mechanism because we haven't gotten to that part. You haven't said that it was. But I want to understand from you, when did it become a part of your life? Okay. And maybe more so regularly.
Well, starting to drink alcohol, I think most people started as kids. The reason why I started young, I had an older cousin and she decided that it'd be a great idea if we pierced our tongues. So we pierced our tongues and I was complaining about the pain.
Yes.
So she's like, oh no, girl, let me get you a drink. That's how I had my first drink. But also, honestly speaking, there is a history of alcohol abuse in my family, you know, more so from my dad's side. I always told, you know, when you tell yourself that you don't want to be that person, but then you just become that person. So that really surfaced in this relationship.
Yeah.
And it started becoming a more regular thing, you know. But now where I felt like it started becoming problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use the word problematic? Yeah, problematic is when I was not happy with the intake. Like, no. I was like, It cannot be normal anymore to drink so much in a weekend, you know? But most importantly, I think people should also familiarize themselves with the fact that alcohol can also induce depression if done consistently.
Yup.
Yeah.
Very much so. I mean, we often think it's something that is so harmless. We often think it is something that is... I have a talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a speaker now, guys. Motivational speaker. Hey,
yes.
The things this podcast makes me do.
Sober-ish.
Hey, I'm telling you. Be the best of you. And I was thinking about it yesterday. And I mean, I always, every single time I've got something, whether I'm emceeing an event or I've got a speaking engagement, I always start like formulating either the program or the engagement or the speech itself well in advance. So this is for like Mandela Day situations in about a month. And I was starting to think, okay, what are the kind of things that I could probably speak about? And it's funny because I was like, why is it that we like shortcuts so much? That kind of popped into my mind. And I was like, why is it that we like shortcuts so much? Because you could buy a new car and have these nice big wheels on it. It's nice and shiny. And there's a highway that goes around the city. You know? It's longer. Maybe it's got a bit more twists and turns. But it's smooth. Mm-hmm. And then there's a shortcut. It's straight. It takes you to your destination. It's right there. You can see the destination.
True.
But it's got potholes that would be dangerous for your car. Mm-hmm. Chances are we'll take the longer way around, right? To protect our car, to make sure that it's fine. We don't pop any wheels and buckle any rims. So why is it that when it comes to us and our mental health, that we always choose the shortcut? That instead of going the longer way around, which might have the twists and turns, and get the help that we require and deal with the issues that we are facing and take accountability and face things head on, we choose to go the alcohol and substance route, which gets us to a feeling of contentment quicker, but it's a lot more damaging to us and our vehicle, which is the body and the mind that we have. And every single time we do that, we just pack on even more.
Mm-hmm.
We wear and tear ourselves down so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that abantu bayalibala into yokubana, or maybe they're not conscientized to the fact that the alcohol and the abuse of it is a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to deal with the issues at hand. We need to deal with the root of the cause.
Mm-hmm.
And because people don't even know how to constitute a problem, in our minds, we only see people as having a problem if they're in the gutter,
Yes.
if they're sleeping under a bridge,
True.
if they've lost
Oops.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that self-awareness? How important was it for you to achieve that self-awareness so that you can understand that actually, this one is not the one?
I was tired of hurting.
Mm.
Yeah. For me, that was my biggest motivator. I was tired of hurting. But most importantly, I actually missed myself. Because remember, I moved away from everything that was familiar.
Mm.
And now I'm forced to face myself. But I have this huge pit of feeling lonely. No one can fill that for you.
Mm.
You know, and I'd always tell my friends that it's not that you're not doing enough. I promise you, you are. You're probably even doing more than enough. It's a me thing.
Mm.
I need to find me again, you know? And that was very important. But it's been a great journey. I love it. Sorry. I just derailed.
Are you still working?
No, actually, it's been a week. I've been unemployed for a week.
For a week? Oh, this is recent. This is now.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, it will have been what, a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yes,
Yes.
2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because it comes out on Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you want to know about that?
Tell me about the day you decided to write your resignation letter.
It was a lovely day.
The sun was out. The birds were singing.
Not really.
Oh.
No.
Well, I mean,
But-
just within yourself.
No.
Okay.
That was not the feeling at all. But I woke up, it was a Friday. Firstly, very important, I felt so overwhelmed that I booked myself into an Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I took my work equipment because I was working from home. And then I decided to work from the Airbnb on Friday. And then when I woke up that morning, I didn't want to do it. Like, I was even over complaining about it. You know when you're just like, I'm even tired of speaking about the same problem.
Yeah.
I know what the problem is right now. It's just that I feel stuck. And then, I worked throughout that day, irregardless. After work, I took a shower. And there was just this overwhelming amount of peace. I can't explain it. But something just told me inside that you're going to go back to who you are. It looks completely different from what you've currently built, but you're going to be okay.
Mm.
I felt like a baby being coddled. That's what it felt like. And then I switched the computer back on and I sent the email like an hour and a half after knocking off. And I told them that I will be serving my 1 month notice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you finished serving your 1 month notice and that is done.
That is done.
How did they receive it?
I think they received it well. You know, I was a bit shocked, by the reaction. It wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know if it's because of where I was at mentally. I just didn't expect it to be as warm as it was. But yeah, I think it was received well. Yeah.
You resigned from work.
I'm unemployed.
You had this glorious career ahead of you. And Zanele, all of our hopes and dreams, mdanam, were on you. How did your family receive it?
They don't know.
Zanele!
No, but anghluphi muntu njena. They don't know. It's my baby. It's my responsibility.
You don't know how many times I get this here where people are like, I'm like, so what does your family think about it? They don't know.
Yeah.
Last week, we had Brian, who's been sleeping on the streets of Pretoria to raise awareness for homelessness and men's mental health. He's like, my family doesn't know.
You see? Because they will convince us not to do it. Honestly speaking.
When do you plan to tell them?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Yo.
Maybe before Wednesday.
No. I don't have a problem with them finding out this way.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the type of relationship that we have, Yeah.
So what's the plan, Zanele? I know that the plan might not be fully fleshed out. It may not be something that, you say, okay, these are the steps. But what is the plan? What is the hope? What is the dream? And especially for a Zanele that is centered, and is back to herself.
So that means going back to my artistic self. Naturally, I'm very artistic. I used to draw, I used to paint, all of that stopped. I used to do nails. I actually did my own nails, Yeah.
Well, let's see. Show that camera there. Okay.
Right there. Yeah. I used to do nails. So I just want to figure out what it is that I will be going into in terms of that. And then there's also, I have this passion of mine, voice acting, especially cartoons. Love it, love it, love it. That's basically why or how we met.
Yes.
Because I want to invest in that as well. But most importantly, in this version of myself, she feels more centered, she feels more grounded. And in that, she's very intentional. So she decided that in a couple of months' time, she will be opening a fruits and veg online store. I want to call it like an express store, curated for people that are intentionally living, people that are conscious about what they're eating, if it's real food or not. But most importantly, eating according to Mother Nature's supply. I have found that there is so much fulfillment in eating within season.
Yes.
I have been absolutely enjoying it. So it's like little curated boxes for young people like me that are in corporate. You don't have time to cook, honestly. You're exhausted from work. Others have kids, and other responsibilities. You get a beautiful curated box for that week. If you have dietary
requirements,
thank you. You can let us know. We will definitely pack your box according to that as well. So yeah, that's what I'm also looking into. If everything goes according to plan, I'm looking to launch in August.
But now, Zanele, you are unemployed. How are you going to do all of this? And also maybe take me through how you had set up your life so that you're able to resign from work and kind of figure things out and start over and decide you're going to do voice acting and start a business. A lot of people don't have that liberty. A lot of people are not in that position, whether it's from a perspective of planning and financial planning, or maybe they might even say, I just don't earn that much. So take me through how you had kind of set up your life where you are able to do this and you're able to have these dreams that you are going to then execute.
Okay. So for me, I actually started planning my exit, if not a year and a half ago, maybe 2. I sat down with my financial advisor. I also acquired quite a few assets, you know. Certain things I don't need to worry about because they are paying themselves off. And saving. Save. Like an emergency savings is a thing, guys.
Yeah.
Have an emergency savings for 6 months, because I also did not want to find myself in a position where I am rushing the business because I need the money. So I made sure that before I resign, I will be okay for 6 months.
Yes.
Where does the money come from? I was very lucky or blessed to get a well-paying job. So I think that's how I was able to acquire the things that I need for business before I actually resigned. So I don't really need much right now. Like literally for everything that I want to do, it's just one big purchase left. And also pay extra on your debt, guys. That 50 Rand makes a difference. It really works. It works.
Yes. And also the snowball effect.
Thank you. I was about to mention that.
Once you're done paying this one off, don't now take that money and say, I'm going to buy a bottle of shampoo with this money every month. Take that money, put it towards another debt.
Definitely.
Pay that one off quicker. There's absolutely nothing better than, being debt free. I'm not. But my financial well-being is so much better. And I said to some of my followers last year, maybe around this time, if not just a bit earlier, maybe May. And I said, pay off the airtime advance. I was in a position at the time, I had 2 SIM cards. Each one had the possibility of giving me an airtime advance of, I think one was like 350, one was like 400 Rand. And both of them were maxed out. Proper. It's in the worst position.
So you're owing almost 1,000 Rand.
I was owing almost 1,000 Rand.
For airtime. Okay.
And I said, pay off the airtime advance. And I had just paid off mine. And I was like, I'm going to pay it off and I'm not going to go back and do it again. And I haven't since then. But just through implementing that practice and just how great it felt to have that off my shoulders. And it was a small thing. It's a small thing.
It does a lot.
Does so much. And now you start to look at other things and you're like, ooh, what can I pay off next?
And you feel responsible, right?
So responsible.
Yeah, you're like, what? I did that?
So responsible. When you're like, okay, I'm actually going to fix my life and I'm going to fix things. And you then put yourself in a better position to be like Zanele, where, there's nothing better than being able to remove yourself from a situation you don't want to be in.
Yes.
And it was a conversation I was having with a colleague of mine. And he said to me, he's like, yeah, I remember when I was sitting in Lumana, guys, I'm not black decks. I don't need to stay in places that I don't need to be in.
Yes.
And as much as, that is a major privilege. But sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we cannot move.
Yes.
Just based off of our own financial habits.
Very true.
Based off of the people pleasing, based off the lack of boundaries. Because now we take on responsibilities zabanya bantu. That shouldn't be our responsibilities. We go out and we want to spend money on buying friends and pleasing people. And next thing you find yourself in a cycle where you are unable to break away.
It feels like you're living from hand to mouth.
Exactly. Exactly. And we need to really break out of that because you can you will be stuck in a place you don't want to be in. You will not be able to pursue any of the dreams that you want to pursue. You will not be able to do any of the things that you want to do, and you'll consistently be going back to debt. You need to rob Peter to pay Paul. At the beginning of every single year when you are struggling because school fees, uniform. And I mean, you had the whole of the previous year to figure this out, you know? So it's very important for us to do that and look at that. What would you like people to take away from your story, from your journey, and from this conversation?
I would like people to ask themselves if the life that they're living is theirs. That is very important. I feel like as a society, we have passed down so much trauma, and now we're left with so many people, or we're living among so many people that are simply reacting instead of living. I need people to look within themselves and be honest. If success for me, for example, doesn't look like what success for Samora looks like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to be your own person. I feel like a lot of people have lost that, and that's why we are where we're at. But most importantly, take care of yourselves. Not everybody that you date loves you.
Wow, shots fired.
No, but it's true. You either date your mirror or your what. So the person that you date will either show you where you still need work done, or they will complement who you currently are.
Okay.
Right? So it's very important to also know where you're at, who you are. But yeah, just take care of yourselves, man, from the inside out.
That is very true. And I mean, intentional living is very important, because I say this all the time, and I say, if you do not make the decision, the world is going to decide for you.
Yes.
If you do not decide who you want to be, the world is going to decide who you are going to be for you. If you do not decide where you're going to go, how much you're going to drink, what kind of partner you want to have,
yes,
then the world is going to decide for you, and you're going to end up in a place that you are not happy to be in, because it was not somewhere that you had intended to be in to begin with. So we need to stop being reactive in our living.
Yes.
And start being proactive, start being intentional about the kind of lives that we want to build for ourselves.
Correct.
Zanele,
Samora,
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
When you launch the business,
yes,
please let us know.
I will.
And when you get those voice acting jobs, let us know.
I will.
We look forward to seeing you really living out your dreams.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you really becoming the person that you want to become, and the person who you actually really and truly are.
Thank you. Thank you. And let people evolve, guys. It's normal.
Yes.
Nobody switched up on you.
And also, if you don't let people evolve, then that means you are the problem, because it means that whoever they were was serving you, and you are not there for their care and their betterment. Because if someone really matters to you, then you will morph around them in whichever way that they need you, and in whichever phase of their life that they are in, because we grow and we evolve.
True.
And Zanele now, as she is, as long as you're not hurting yourself or other people, fundamentally the things that bring us together should still remain. Whether where you hang out changes, where you work changes, what career you're in changes, but who you are in essence is still who you are.
True.
True. Zanele, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having me.
you. For people who want to collaborate with Zanele, they're like, oh, I've got this animation.
Please. What do you need? You need a granny. I'll be there. Yes.
Where do they find you?
Oh, I'm on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Only TikTok. It's
funny because you didn't have WhatsApp 3 days ago.
Yeah, I got WhatsApp literally just for this interview. And I made sure it's not on my primary number. You can reach me on TikTok. It's at ma_Zulu_Gabs. GEBZ.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Twinkle Twinkle. I read kiddie storybooks
on
my TikTok page.
Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. And I think that is a great niche to have as well.
Thank you.
It's a great niche to have. I think also just from the perspective of if you do it consistently, then it can be something that people check in on every single day. And it's like, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to listen to Zanele read me the story.
Yes.
You know?
My goddaughter actually does that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Zanele Zulu joining us here on the Best of Me podcast. Shout out to her. And of course, she did say it's ma_Zulu_Gabs on TikTok. Remember that we have merchandise. You can find it on 064-771-441. That's 064-771-441. Also, remember that in October, we're having our 1-year celebration of the podcast. You're invited.
Yay, thank you.
It is an event that is called This Is a Safe Space. So please make sure that you save the date, and we'll give you all of that information as to where it is, who's going to be performing, and what kind of conversations we're going to be having there on the day as it gets closer to the date. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us yet again. Also, if you think that this conversation is going to resonate with anybody, then please share, like, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you're notified every single time when we upload a brand new episode, which is Wednesdays at 3 p.m. From myself, Samora Mangesi,
Zanele Zulu.
I'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Not only is it about the oversharing, it's actually more about the social awareness to not know what information is appropriate to discuss within this context. And is this context befitting for me to share this information? And actually, what could the negative consequences of me sharing this specific information and this context be? What are the negative consequences to how I'm perceived, to how people relate to me, to what information they choose to share with me, and how do I feel about that? Just not having the social awareness to be able to see the consequences of oversharing over a long period of time is my problem with people who typically overshare.